The breaking news is simple, all consolidated for you. Four-time NFL MVP Aaron Rodgers. He's on the move. He's headed to the Big Apple. What in the world was the deal for? I will try to make it simple. It quite literally just happened as we were getting mic'd up. Simply put, the Packers, they will now get the 13th overall pick. The Jets will get the 15th overall pick of this year. Simply a pick swap. That's the simple aspect. The more nuts and bolts of it all. The Packers will also get a second-round pick for this year's draft, and they have a conditional first-round pick in the 2024 draft. If Aaron Rodgers plays 65% of the snaps in this upcoming season, the Packers will get a first-round pick. If he plays less than 65% of the snaps in this upcoming season, the Packers will get a second-round pick. So very simply put, there's some other details in there. Y'all read about those on Twitter. I'm giving y'all the stuff y'all really need to know about. Simply put, Jets, they get Rodgers. Packers get a first-round pick conditionally next year, a second-round pick this year, and there's a first-round pick swap. I gave y'all the details of the deal. Shady, what is your overall reaction to the news, truly, that we've all been waiting to see happen? What's your reaction?
I'm happy it got done, right? I'm happy it got done, and I'm happy it got done before the draft, because now you know what you can get.
Great point.
So we get rid of a quarterback. Okay, what can we pick up? Oh, we got Aaron Rodgers. What can we pick up? I think on this trade, I'm more happy for the... No. The Jets. I'm happy for the Jets. It's first of all, it's New York, for one. And then I think that the Jets been waiting for this. They have all the pieces they need. They have defense. They have running game. They have a good coach. Right? Now they need a quarterback. You got some solid wide receivers, some young crops, some young guys going to get it done. I'm excited. I'm excited for football. I just think that in that division, AFC East, I believe, where you have the Bills, who was probably, one. You got the Dolphins, probably 1A, 1B, whatever you say. But now you put them Jets in there, who beat both of them teams last year without a quarterback, with Dave Helman under center.
A little better than that.
Okay, I mean, Zach.
I don't know. Nobody wants to see that.
Dave, that was anyway. But now you put Aaron Rodgers there, sky's the limit. So we really can't say who's predicted to win that division. Now they got Aaron Rodgers. I don't know. It's going to be spicy in the AFC East.
Joy, you've talked about this at length, both in reality on TV and on social media. In the AFC, there is Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, likely Lamar Jackson, Tua Tagovailoa when he's healthy, Josh Allen. There is a plethora of talented quarterbacks, 26 and under in the AFC. You can't win in football if you don't have a quarterback, truly. But in the AFC, you don't have a chance. Jets now get Aaron Rodgers. What's your reaction?
Oh, well, Shady just got the ball rolling. It's hype city. Hype city in New York. New York's already hype right now. I know they're losing their minds right now with this news. And that's what I'm excited to see, because I have lots of questions about how this is actually going to work and what this is actually going to look like. But I'm with Shady. I'm glad this was done. I was expecting this news to come out this week. So if it wasn't today, it would have been closer to the draft. But I expected this to get done. I honestly just put it behind me. Like, this is too much. We have too much momentum in this deal, too much conversation, too many things have been said in favor of Jordan Love with the Packers, Aaron wanting to leave. So it was just a matter of the draft compensation, which I actually think is quite fair. I was thinking that they were going to hold out for a first-round pick this year. So they're going to get that, assuming that Aaron Rodgers plays all or most of the season next year, which... the Jets better hope so. So they'll be happy to give up that first-round pick if Aaron plays that much. I think it's exciting. It certainly makes that division interesting. Again, I still have a lot of questions about how it's going to look, but the hype is already started.
Dave, wait, Dave, real quick. He has 1 or 2 years left on his deal.
2, yeah.
Because all right.
Dave, let's remind the viewers of the offseason acquisitions that the Jets made in preparation for Aaron Rodgers' arrival. Whether coincidence or whether intentional, Nathaniel Hackett, former coach for the Denver Broncos, is now back, I believe, as the offensive coordinator for the New York Jets. Who is Nathaniel Hackett? He was the Packers offensive coordinator for Aaron Rodgers' last 2 MVP seasons. So that is a familiar face. Who else? Alan Lazard. Alan Lazard was kind of the Swiss Army knife for the Green Bay Packers at wide receiver. He is out of Iowa State. Big receiver, not necessarily a 1,000-yard receiver, but he does all the dirty work, blocking, and he'll give you 500 yards a season. That is one of Aaron Rodgers' guys. Jets acquired him as well. The Jets were building a house, missing the primary component, and now the primary component, Aaron Rodgers, is in the house. You've been monitoring this story as closely as anybody on national TV. What is your reaction?
I know it offended Aaron Rodgers when it was suggested that those moves were done deliberately to get him. Sorry, buddy, they were. Hate to bust that bubble for you, but this was all by design. I would go as far as to say the New York Jets have been eyeing this as their quarterback reality since the season ended, probably. Of course, you're going to have contingency plans. You're going to look into other options, but this was their option A. And look, they got it over the finish line, so kudos to them. And for me, The best trades, the most fun trades to talk about are the ones where both sides come out feeling like they've won.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is the case here. Because if you're the Jets, and if you've been following this saga, which I have, there's been a lot of contention over, are the Packers going to get pick 13? It was like, oh, you're not getting 13. That's too valuable of a pick. We're not giving that up. That was kind of the sticking point. And the Packers were saying, you want the two-time MVP in the last 3 years, you're giving up pick 13. Of course, it works out where they did get pick 13, but not quite. I mean, a pick swap, basically, the Packers get pick 13. They lose pick 15. But look, if you're the Green Bay Packers, you have now gotten Aaron Rodgers off your books, out of your life, for whatever we might think of him as a quarterback. It's obvious that both sides wanted that.
Pause, Dave, pause. Because in the midst of trying to prep for this conversation, I think we are all overlooking the significance of this moment. In 15 years, we're going to look back at Aaron Rodgers as one of the 5 to 10, maybe top 5 most talented quarterbacks
for sure.
the game of football's ever seen.
For sure, yeah.
And he's on the move. Like, this is a monumental sports moment. I recall when Emmitt Smith was an Arizona Cardinal for a while. I was like, wait, what's going on here? When Tom Brady became a Buck. Like, this is a monumental moment we're in the midst of. Apologies for breaking into that. But you said it, and I said it so nonchalant.
It'll be the first time that a new quarterback is the face of the Green Bay Packers since 2008. That's when Rodgers took over as the guy. Yeah, no, it's huge in a lot of ways. And I'm glad you brought up Brady, because that's what it reminds me of. Like, I know it worked out so splendidly for Tom Brady. He won a championship in Tampa, right, Shady? Which was wonderful. But we didn't know that. We didn't know that at the time. Like, Brady's career in New England ended with a playoff exit. It was a disappointing finish to a great era. He goes to Tampa, brings them a championship. I'm not saying Aaron Rodgers is going to do that, but he brings the promise and the potential of that to a franchise that hasn't won a Super Bowl since 1968. I mean, that's exciting if you like football.
But even that part, see, like, when you're a great player like Tom Brady was, like how Aaron Rodgers still is, and you're used to all the success, right? Like, being the first seed and losing, oh, it's a bad thing. Oh, you know, going to playoffs, winning, oh, then you lose, you don't get Super Bowl, that's a bad thing. But when you go, and you take it for granted, but when you go to a team like the Jets, who's been waiting for that type of stuff.
They're going to throw a parade.
The Bucks, who was waiting for that type of stuff, right? You get a player like that, they're gonna work so hard. They're gonna do everything in their power to get the best for Aaron Rodgers. If it's teammates, if it's effort, guys on defense that probably didn't hustle last year, they're gonna hustle this year. Because they know that the potential's there. And I truly believe, right? I don't want to go out and say, you know, that he's Tom Brady, because he's definitely not.
Of course.
Right? I'm not saying he's going to go out there and win a championship, because we don't know that. But I feel like they have a great chance with Aaron Rodgers, because when you look at that team, they're talented. They're talented as hell, offense and defense. And now you don't have to have an Aaron Rodgers where he has to do everything great for them to have a chance to win. Just go there and be there. Play well, be Aaron Rodgers, right? Not the great Aaron Rodgers, not the two-time MVP, but a solid, efficient Aaron Rodgers, and they got a chance to do some big things.
Call me crazy, but I think Aaron Rodgers to the Jets will be much more like Tom Brady to the Bucks than it will be like Russell Wilson to the Broncos.
I agree.
The Jets had a top 4 defense in football last year, 4 in points and 4 in overall defense when you talk about the overall components of that defense. Furthermore, you have a middle linebacker in Mosley who you like. You have Sauce Gardner, a DB who you like. You got Quentin Williams, a defensive tackle who you like. So from a cornerback level to a linebacker level to a defensive lineman level, you're set. The running back, they had offensive rookie of the year before they had the offensive rookie of the year, because Breece Hall was likely going to win offensive rookie of the year. He gets hurt. Then at wide receiver, you go out there and you ball, and you have another offensive rookie of the year out of Ohio State. So you already know Garrett Wilson, he got gas at wide receiver. Then Mekhi Becton, he will be back left tackle, healthy. A big mammoth
lost
of a
a lot of weight,
being.
Lost a lot of weight.
Lost weight, so now he's in more shape.
So are we going to put money on the Jets right now? Like, you're selling me.
I won't go that far.
You're selling me.
But where I will go is this. You could not have drafted this up better if you are a Jets fan as it pertains to the X's and O's. I can't tell you all about what will transcend the paper. Shady has said during the Super Bowl run with Tom Brady, which LeSean McCoy to my right was a part of, Tom Brady was sending text messages in the midst of that run encouraging guys. I can't tell you how Aaron Rodgers will transcend the X's and O's, but simply looking at the X's and O's, the defense is top 4. You have young, talented players at the offensive wide receiver, at running back, at the offensive line. On defense, you got a guy in the middle at linebacker, you got a guy at defensive line, you got a guy at cornerback. You are set by the X's
and your best offense coordinator you ever had,
Nathaniel Hackett.
Come on now.
And check this out. This is a big sticking point for me. The Jets, they moved back, but they didn't get rid of their first-round pick.
Yeah, that was smart.
They're going to add a top 15 pick to this team. They still have a second-round pick because Joe Douglas kudos to you. You traded Elijah Moore a month ago. That turned into the second-round pick that is now on its way to Green Bay.
Yep.
So they really didn't lose that much in terms of immediate resources. So they're going to add 2 top 50 players to this team that is already, as you just expertly detailed, very talented.
Joy, you're making me nervous. Not because of what you're saying, because of what you're not saying. You are very quiet right now. What is going through that little brilliant mind of yours?
I've said it all before, so I was going to say it on the day that the trade is made. But we don't know what Robert Saleh is. We think he's a good coach. We think that they've just been missing a quarterback. But that was kind of the same conversation that we were having about the Broncos. I don't think this is going to be as bad as the Russell Wilson situation. But Tom Brady is Tom Brady.
He is. Yes, he is. He is.
And he went to Bruce Arians, who had a coaching resume.
He did. He did.
Matthew Stafford is not Tom Brady.
No.
But he's pretty good, and he went to Sean McVay, who is the best young coach in the league. Took Jared Goff to a Super Bowl. Lost, but was there. So I'm just saying the Jets have won. He's won 11 games, I think, as a head coach.
Sure.
Yeah.
You led me to somewhere which I will use to revisit this conversation the moment we return. Is there more pressure on Saleh or is there more pressure on Rodgers? It's fascinating.
Oh, I'll hold my answer.
Hold the answer.
All right, okay.
Behold the answers.
Yes.
We'll come back to that and revisit because you do make a great point. If all the pieces are there, and we know Aaron Rodgers is a piece, we know Sauce Gardner is a piece, Quinnen Williams, Mosley, Mekhi Becton, Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, we know the pieces are there, then what in the world is standing in the way of the Jets and a title?
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.